MMA fighter lost his finger in the cage. Not really. Let's talk about proximal interphalangeal joint dislocations and why MMA gloves may need to be changed. A recent fight involving fighter Khatag Pliev, excuse the pronunciation, at CFFC 94 was recently stopped because he lost his finger. Yes, he lost his finger, temporarily. They found it in his glove. He underwent a reduction in the emergency room, and based on his interviews, he is headed out and his finger is alive. Initially, reports were that his finger had been completely severed. That's really hard to do. It certainly happens, and I thought we had seen something exceptionally rare, of course, on April Fool's Day. Well, fortunately, I believe he just had a severe proximal interphalangeal joint, PIP joint dislocation. This is not the first time that this has happened in an MMA fight, but it is the first time that I'm aware of that finger was, at least temporarily, unaccounted for in a cage match. So, how do these injuries happen? Check out my ligament video for a brief refresher on joints. Joints, in general, can be dislocated when the ligaments supporting them fail. Depending on the direction the joints are pushing, the joint will determine which direction the joint goes when it dislocates. The PIP joint is the joint between the first and second little bones of the finger. Based on its position on the hand, it is susceptible to injury, and it is frequently injured when fingers are twisted or jammed. I believe that the PIP joint is even more susceptible to injury in mixed martial arts than in other situations because of the gloves. They stop at the PIP joint. The forces that then can act on isolated fingers are going to be focused at the PIP joint. Often in the act of blocking a kick or pushing, the fingers can be hyperextended. This will result in the finger being bent backwards at the PIP joint. If the forces are strong enough, then the ligaments begin tearing and the joint dislocates. In mixed martial arts, it is often backwards. This injury has happened in several MMA fights. Notably, Josh Emmett dislocated his left ring finger so bad that the joint dislocated out of the skin. It was open. This also happened to Pliev, same finger. However, with Pliev, his finger went so far backwards that it got hidden inside his glove. Perhaps because his opponent was tugging on his finger and glove repeatedly. Anyway, it is very fortunate that the whole finger did not get severed. To put a finger back on or replant a finger takes a skilled microsurgeon, time, and a little luck. Bones, joints need to be stabilized, tendons on the front and the back of the finger need to be repaired. The nerves, there are two nerves, one on each side of the finger. Arteries, at least one, and veins also need to be repaired, often using suture that is smaller than a fraction of the size of a human hair, using a surgical microscope. Take my word, replanting a finger is difficult. So back to Pliev. What he has said on interviews and pictures on media, it seems that his finger's doing okay. But there may have been damage to a tendon that may require surgery. I wish him well. He is a tough dude. Thank you for your time. I'm Dr. Lucius Pomerantz, here to remind you to keep moving.